Hey there, everybody. It's Mark Gutierrez with Cloudium, and we're doing another episode of On the Mark. This week, we're going to talk about Steam versus EA versus Battlefield versus Call of Duty and all that big cluster mess there. But first, before you rush off to your OnLive microconsole or your OnLive application on the PC or Mac, no, Battlefield Bad Company 2 is not on OnLive. I'm playing this on my local PC. So, yeah, sorry to disappoint. But this game just kind of fit the conversation. So, and also recording gameplay is just kind of easier than getting the camera out and the lighting, and there's a lot of things on my to-do list. So this is just an easier way of getting it out, for at least for now. So we got something to talk about, and we actually do have something to talk about. Oh boy, Steam versus EA. That is really huge, because Steam is, and no digital distributor releases their numbers, OnLive included. But I think that it's fair to say that Steam is the largest digital distributor in the industry, in the gaming industry. And I mean, I'm not just saying that. I mean, there's actually analysts that have said that too. But I'm actually going to go ahead with an educated guess and say that Steam is the largest digital distributor of video games out of any other digital marketplace for video games that there is. And Crysis 2, if you're out of the loop, Crysis 2 was pulled out of the Steam store. It's he said, she said right now, so we still don't know if EA did it or if Valve did it. But I'm going to assume Valve did it, just because there's no reason for EA to do it. EA would rather make more money, and Valve has every reason to take it off because they're threatened by EA's Origin store. I mean, the Origin store is basically Steam minus the community, and it's not really surprising because EA they pretty much have a history. They have a history that I think is well known with gamers, with just trying to find the most profitable way to do it, to make money, and yeah, it just works really. But yeah, what I think that it comes down to here is EA is really just trying to cut out third parties, and they figure if they're able to do it, we can do it too. So they're just really trying to find a way to make more money, and as a business, it's just going to make sense. But I don't blame the developers, because obviously the developers are the ones that bring us this amazing content that we play when we play video games. But the publisher in this case is just really it's very business-like, which it is a business. So I'm not saying at all it's a bad thing. I'm just saying it's kind of a sour thing to talk about. But it's there, it's happening. So we kind of need to, just to make sure that you are aware that this is what's going on in the industry right now. And another big thing that's going on is Battlefield 3 is saying some pretty tall words about Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 3. And it's mostly coming from the EA side. It's not so much coming from the developers, the Digital Illusions. It's more coming from the publisher, Electronic Arts. Keep in mind, in both scenarios, the publisher owns the developer that's making Battlefield and the developer that's making Call of Duty. Activision owns Infinity Ward, they own Treyarch, and they own Sledgehammer. They're not independent developers. They are actually an Activision Blizzard owned company. The same thing goes with Digital Illusions, DICE. DICE is owned by Electronic Arts. They're not independent in any way. They don't do anything without Electronic Arts to say so. And then the other thing too is, I don't know, when it comes to it probably is a good thing for the gaming industry to have this kind of competition because it brings attention. Kind of like, a Yankees Red Sox rivalry is good for baseball because it brings attention to baseball. In that same sense, it's good for the gaming industry because I don't think the gaming industry has pretty much had anything right now that makes it accepted by the rest of the world. Or at least in this country, that makes it accepted by the rest of the country. There's still a lot of people out there that do not respect gaming as a form of art, and they still look at gaming as a time waster, and they don't realize that games have evolved since Pac-Man. And not to say Pac-Man was a time waster, because Pac-Man was pretty good too, but it's just some people viewed it as a waste of time, and they don't realize that games today have stories and there's depth to them. But yeah, anyway, that's not what I'm talking about. So what I want to know is if you had to choose between Battlefield 3 and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, you can only have one, not both. Which would you rather have on OnLive? If OnLive came up to everybody and said, look, you can only pick one of these two games, you can't have both, and you'll be able to play it and just pick. What would you choose? Would you choose Battlefield 3 or would you choose Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3? And why? And I know my preference, and just to give you an example, I'm going to break all the rules by picking sides in this battle, but who cares? My choice would be Battlefield 3. And not because Call of Duty is a bad game. I'm not saying Call of Duty is a bad game at all. I kind of like Call of Duty. I just like their story. And the multiplayer, not so much. I'm not very familiar with the Call of Duty experience that doesn't involve somebody hacking and multiplayer. But the single-player story is great. I like the single-player story. And when it comes down to like Battlefield, the Battlefield series, they've always brought a consistent experience. They have a formula that works, that's worked since 1942, and they introduce new features. It's not like the game hasn't evolved. It's not like the game is the same thing that we've always had, but they have a core formula that works. They haven't tried to change it. And on the same note, every single time they introduce a new feature, that works. I feel like with Call of Duty, they introduce so much every single year, and the majority of it doesn't work. And the next release, they'll fix it, but with every fix, they also bring in a new feature, and that new feature doesn't work. So all their solutions bring more problems, and the solutions fix the other problems, but they introduce some newer problems. And then that's just really my opinion about the Call of Duty franchise. But when it comes to Battlefield, I think Battlefield is a bit of a more consistent experience. I can trust that when I spend money on Battlefield, that I will get the experience I expect. Not the case for Bad Company, but even DICE has said before the game came out that Bad Company was it's really more of a separate thing together from Battlefield, or separate thing altogether from Battlefield. It's not really core Battlefield itself. So yeah, and we're going to make this a little bit interesting because I really, really, really want to see what you guys think. We're going to do a random play pass release like we've always done. It's always randomly selected by a computer. But I want to know the rules for this is you have to pick Battlefield 3 or Modern Warfare 3. You have to pick one or the other. And I would like for you to defend your decision. Tell me why you would pick Battlefield 3 and tell me why you would pick Modern Warfare 3. And remember, we're talking about it being for OnLive here. So it's not like, which game do you like better. Think about this. This game comes to OnLive. Why do I like it, and why do I want it on OnLive? And we're of all the people that choose between one game or the other, we're going to go ahead and give one of you guys a OnLive play pass. So there you go. We have a giveaway going on there. We actually have some more giveaway stuff. And this is something really, really cool. I'm excited for this. So we're going to do something new that for now we're going to be calling Brag/Fail of the Week. And every single week we're going to pick a brag and a fail of the week. And the way this is going to work is you're going to submit them in to send us your username, your clip, of course, or at least a description of your clip. If it's on the OnLive service and you have no way of getting the clip to us, that's fine. Just tell us how we can find it. And we just need your username, the game that the clip is in, how long ago that clip was taken. So, it tells you 1 day ago, 6 days ago. If you have the exact date, that'd be perfect. So tell us how long ago it was, and describe it so that when we look for it, we know what we're looking for. Because we'd like to see we'd like to really see what these great brags are and these great fails. I'm really looking forward to laughing my ass off, really. But send your brags into brag@cloudium.com. Send your fails into fails@cloudium.com. And we're going to be very specific about this particular portion. Please only send your brags to brag@cloudium.com. If you send a fail into brag@cloudium.com, we're going to look at your clip as if it were a brag. So if it was a fail, it's not going to make it. So brags to brag@cloudium.com and fails to fail@cloudium.com. And look forward to seeing all the crazy silliness going on. And the winner of our first week of brag/fail of the week will get a OnLive t-shirt. An OnLive t-shirt. And you've seen me wear the OnLive t-shirt before if you've watched the previous On the Marks. And no, it's not the exact one I'm wearing, but it looks like that. So yeah, go ahead and send those in to us. Your brag is going to get you an OnLive t-shirt if you get chosen for the brag clip of the week on our very first one, which we're going to be doing at the end of next week on Friday. And your fail, if you get the fail, it's each. If you get the brag, you get a t-shirt, and if you get the fail, you get the t-shirt. So enjoy that. We have 3 giveaways going on here. Play Pass for commenting on Battlefield 3 or Modern Warfare 3 for OnLive. Winning brag clip of the week. And winning fail clip of the week. Each of those have their own little things. I just went through that. All your brag clips and all your fail clips must be by you. If you submit them from somebody else, it's not going to count. They must be by you. So, yeah, 3 things. Have fun with that. I know I'll be enjoying watching the submissions. And other than that, I think we're done. So I'll catch you later, Cloud Gamers.